happened, it was really fucking startling, obviously, because like I was never expecting it. But then after that, yeah, it's pretty fucking entertaining. But like we also have like vents and stuff in those rooms anyway, so it's supposed to help with like the risk of mold and shit in bathrooms, which is fine. I don't really care, but it helps. When it wasn't working, it was noticeable, and when it's working, it's noticeable, like the differences and stuff. But I don't know. The water tank one, the only problem I had with that was that it required an outdoor pump because it was pumped to flush our toilets and also be our laundry water. And I very quickly didn't like that it went into laundry water because it stank, and a lot of my clothing and shit came out like smelling and stuff, and I was not cool with that. So we ended up putting a bypass for that, which I'll have to undo anyway eventually down the track when I want to sell the place. But yeah, it works for now. And the water that went to the toilet, the pump outside, the funny thing about this is the pump itself is not waterproof. So it broke like straight away. Like the first rain that happened, it broke straight away. They told us that it was waterproof, so we never bothered to put a shelter on it. And then so after the first one broke, we put a shelter on it, and then it rained and it flooded it. So the next one broke from flooding, which of course doesn't work the same as rainwater. So then we couldn't get it replaced or whatever under warranty and shit. So we're like, cool, fuck it. I'm just going to put a bypass because like I moved in, and for like the first 2 weeks after I moved in, my toilets didn't flush because the pump died, and I was waiting for like that to be replaced. So we were like bucket flushing my toilets. And then after that, it broke again, like not a month later. And I'm like, nah, fuck this. So I put a bypass in for that, which unfortunately undoes that. But I do have at least like the water source in my yard that I can water my whole yard with if I choose to. Ambrosia, huh? This shit's like great to sell, great money, but it is one hell of a pain in the ass to keep my people away from this. I'll let it grow though. See if I can like get rid of it. Version I'm using for Rim again. I also remember some weird clothes smell bad out of the wash period at the last place I was at. That can also happen due to mildew. We also had that as well when something was like very, very lightly damp. Like if you sweat too much in something, or if it's like been rained on a little bit and you like put it down instead of like hanging it up. Sometimes when you wash it, it'll get mildewy smell, and it will always smell every time it gets wet. Like, it won't be obvious when you like bring it in and it's clean and dry and shit, but you'll notice as soon as it like gets a little bit damp. We had that problem too. We had to just replace all of our towels because I don't know what happened, but I guess one of our towels maybe was like not quite dry, and or like the load maybe sat too long between going to dryer, and it just fucked over our entire like all of our towels and stuff. So we replaced them. We've got like half of them replaced at the moment. We really need more, but we're making do with like a couple of towels and like hand towels, face washes, stuff like that. Like just the fucking bare minimum. I've got cats and shit, so like there will be times where I want to bath them, and you need more than like 2 towels to bath a cat because there's so much fucking water in the cat. Especially Phoenix, I need to be able to hold him and warm him up after a shower. Even though the shower is warm, he's like ice. As for RimWorld, I'm using Core RimWorld, no DLCs, and I only have 6 mods, I think it is, which is a couple of them are not working at the moment. It's Harmony, Deep Stack, where's my other ones? Harmony, Deep Stack, EdB Prepare Carefully, Wild Reproduction's not working, Drop All Inventory, and HugsLib. That's all I've got for this game. I have no performance mods or anything like that. It's just, yeah. It's still going. It's like, it's almost 2 years in. When we hit March, this colony will have been running for 2 years IRL at that point. And we've got 255 people because 2 people died tonight from the flu. Out of the 113 people that got the flu, only 2 people died. So, version number, I don't know. Whatever's the current one, I know it shows up somewhere. I think it shows up on like the main menu thing when I like go out. Hold on. Let me just open up Steam. I don't have that open for once. Or at least the water cat. Well, Phoenix, like, his coat holds so much water, but, like, he's always, like, fucking freezing if I have to, like, wash him. What version? Reckons it's up to date. No. I don't usually, like, go into the shit while I'm streaming, so it's taking me a bit extra. Whatever the latest version is, because I've got no beta like involvement or anything, so whatever the last update was is whatever this is, because it's all up to date whenever the last update was. So I'm not sure, but yeah, it's current. It's current to today, at least. But yeah, I don't know. It's still doing alright for as long as I've had it. This is like a third location, and we're still here. I kind of want to go out and do like trading with people. I had caravans to go out and trade to people, but at basically like the start of, right before the start of spring, Phoebe Chillax just lost her shit. She lost her shit so fucking hard and flipped the table and just killed like 30 odd people, and like, you know, probably 10 or 20 people tried to leave, and basically like a third of my colony just kind of like went like, bullshit, I'm leaving, I'm out kind of thing, one way or another. Didn't know you moved to 1.5. You have books. Yeah, no, I wanted the got books. I wanted the core 1.5 update that handled the pawn threading better. So I had to make sure everything was up to date. But there was a while where I think it wasn't updating. And so it was a bit of a shock when we did update, because it wasn't just like, oh, there's books and the stuff that was mentioned in the update, like stuff or whatever. Like, one of the big things that surprised me is we have like all these fucking color changing things on lights, and like the ground and stuff does like, there's paint and all sorts of shit. Like, that's a little weird to me, but there's also like a whole like huge amount of colors for carpet and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, aside from that, nothing else really changed. There's just like that extra bit of furniture. There's the fancy doors, the lights. That's really all I noticed changed. The other thing too is I noticed that furniture, for some reason, the chairs, every so often lock down, and I can't make them out of stone anymore. I used to be able to make them out of stone. So that was a bit of a change. How is this room temperature going? Okay, so those two are super, super heated. We are in the thick of a heat wave, but these are holding their own. I'm trying to prevent, oh fuck. I might need cooling in there. So I am trying desperately to prevent, that's like 31 degrees. Yeah, this is super heating this room. By having this like ultra hot. This is 141 in that room. Okay, I'm gonna need to get you guys out of here. I'm gonna need somebody to open that door, like crack a door in here basically, cause that's probably nearly gonna kill someone. I crack open these two. I'm trying to resolve a little issue I've got with heating, because I've got I have roofs here. I didn't have roofs over my air conditioners, and they were able to freely vent out. I'm going to be losing food to this kind of temperature. This is why this is more important at the moment. But essentially, the kind of problem that I've really got is that I don't want to have to move this down. I don't want to have to move it over. So I'm going to have to, like, I'm going to have to fiddle with that. But I don't want to do it during the heat wave, but I do have to pop these open. And I know that my people do not listen to me say, don't go through these doors. But I really want you guys to not go through those doors. Maybe they move stone chairs to stools. Well, the stools you can still make stone, right? But I used to like the fact that stone is cheap. Like, I've got, hold on. I've got like 27,000 slate and stuff. So, yeah, I could easily make like a shit ton of stools and stuff. How is this going? This is like 56 and rising in here. I don't want you guys getting in here at all. I want to make sure people get out of here. They don't normally listen when I put X's on stuff, so I'm not really expecting that to work. But yeah, I'm going to have to probably move some shit down, but I can't like pop that super open. Mate, can you get out of there? Nah, mate. It's not what I want you to do. I don't even know why you're coming in here. I made chairs out of wood or steel, so I wouldn't have noticed myself. See, Alright, they're going out of this room. Great. I need you guys to stay the fuck out of here. No Panther. Don't do it. Don't go in there. Okay, the X's are working this time. It seems. Either that or that Panther is well and truly confused. But generally speaking, when I put X's on doors, they don't listen. So they've got 2 other rooms that they can use at the moment, and they can superheat that room to high heavens if they want. I'll pop it down here at some point to like cool it down once we get out of the heat wave. And that way people won't die when they walk in there. But yeah, this is not helping this room. This has gone down a bit though. So the only 1.5 stuff I remember off the top of my head is crawling went down and books, love books. Yeah, the crawling went down isn't too bad. The like it does make it a little bit difficult when my enemies start like crawling away, or like my people crawl out of the hospital to avoid a danger and end up dying outside instead of crawling to a bed or something. That's the only time when that's annoying. But I mean, it doesn't really do much beyond that. It's just the difference between them staying down and staying where they are versus potentially getting away kind of thing. How many points you got? I have got 255. We had 2 people die tonight due to the flu. 113 people had the flu. So, yeah. 2 deaths isn't too bad for that. And they weren't anybody super, super important. But I'm just, like, kind of rolling through a heat wave at the moment. So, I'm trying to get this room down, but I'm mostly trying to get that room cool kind of thing. And I want to pump this room higher cool. I might do it on these 3 because they're venting out. So, let's absolutely crank that back. I don't think that's going to work, but we're going to try. This room is superheated, and that room is obviously superheated. There's nothing I could do about it at the moment. How's everywhere else? Pretty good. Everywhere else is mostly fine. I'm mostly just got to keep on this at the moment. Interesting calling is very visceral. The blood smears after large conflicts. Holy. You should see my fucking base when we get a goddamn attack going. Because the thing is, like I said, we had Phoebe lose her shit when I hit, like, the 257. Because anytime I'm over 250, she absolutely loses her fucking mind. And I've been at, like, 262 before, and we were at 257 just, like, literally days ago and stuff. And the thing is, like, she'll try to kill off till my colony is back down to 220 odd. That's usually, like, her happy place. And then she'll, like, calm the fuck down. But she sent me this, like, ultra fucking mech raid thing that happened, like, over here or whatever. And it was just fucking mental. Nothing I could do could remove them. And I called for allies and stuff like that. So my first allies were pieces of shit, right? My first allies I called for. So because as I was explaining before, I have these air conditioners here, and therefore I had this area open. And so when I called for help, my allies landed in here. No fucking clue why they keep landing here. But that's where they landed. And I've even tried to make like orbital beacons and shit elsewhere, but this is where they land. And they were pissed off that they were trapped, so they broke my air conditioners and left my map straight away. Just left, peaced out. But broke my air conditioners and left a fucking gaping hole in like my food storage and stuff. So that wasn't great. Then my next group I called for, they basically arrived down here somewhere, and they walked straight up into just pure death, absolute death. Nothing I could really do about that. My colonist, no matter what I tried to do, like, you know how like I save and I reload and I try again and stuff like that to see if I could come with like the best possible outcome, lowest amount of people dying and stuff like that, most amount of prisoners and stuff. Anyway, no matter what I did, basically they set most of my base on fire because most of it at the moment is crops. And so everything caught fire. A lot of people roasted. My prisoners started escaping. People were having tantrums left, right, and center. People were losing medical privileges. Everything just happened. So many people ran wild or just gave up and left. And yeah, I ended up just like going back and seeing what else she'd sent me. She sent me a different kind of mech raid that was the same thing, but like more people, but less difficulty. And I'm like, that's still an issue. So I tried again, and she sent me like 3 mad hares, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I took that just out of curiosity. I took that. And then we got blight, so my crops hit blight, and we had to like clear that out. Then we had, what else do we have? I think we had like a psychic drone in there as well. We had an infestation. My caravans got attacked, and then everybody got the flu, or at least half my colony got the flu, and 2 people have died from that. So I'm still really wary of what the fuck she's trying to throw at me, because I'm expecting more. She sent like the bare minimum. She does like a slow burn if you don't accept like the super huge raid and stuff. But usually anything that's absolutely colony ending, I would like to try again and see if I could do it better and see if I could like come out of it with less casualties. And yeah, she just sent different shit instead. Not really into cheese stuff, but I do like that. Allows more creative building and learning how doors interact with heat. I can finally make freezers however I want without having to compromise because AC is needing to vent. Open doors, barricades to fix that from what I've heard. Yeah, definitely targeted the containers because of the lower HP law. Rice fields will never be left in peace. Look, all I find is that at the moment we're going for like severe overproduction of food because we nearly had everybody starve when we first moved here. Because I've had a few glitches over time. When we moved from the last location to here, I didn't realize we had a glitch on my caravans, and basically it meant that they unloaded the caravan as we packed the caravan, which meant we left without food. And so when all my people arrived, we had like 180 people plus like 20 odd something prisoners, and everybody was starving. And I only had this little place built and they were all starving, and I had to like house all my prisoners and shit. So shit just rampaged for ages and stuff. And now we've got food. We've got like 6,000 potatoes, 1,000 odd rice, like 3,000 berries. But we're finally starting to get into like the 3,000 pemmican and like 2,800-ish whatever survival meals and 2,000 like simple meals and stuff like that. That's my knuckles, people. But we're getting there. We're starting to get like some meat production again, because at one point to counter that, I had to cull like 2/3 of my colony's amount of animals, and we're trying to reproduce that with. This is why I've got chickens and my ducks and stuff in like a reproduction area to kind of like speed up that process, and we're getting there. We've got like 91 ducks that are hatched already, so we'll get back up to it eventually. They're like trying to keep up with fine meals with the nutrition demand. Holy. Yeah, no, I don't really give them like, I don't give them fine meals. Like we do have vegetarian fine meals and we do have carnivore fine meals because you can't make lower versions of those. I would if I could. But I do have like a shit ton of simple meals. Like we've got 2,000 simple meals and that's fine. We've got a lot of packaged survival meals because like I want to be able to have caravans. Same with the pemmican. Like in the last location, in our first location, we had like 20,000 pemmican and like the 20,000 survival meals and stuff like that before we moved. We had like the 20s, like the double digit thousands kind of thing. When we moved to Quillen, which was our second location, the game did the 1.5 update and it broke the location that I was on, and everything was like really corrupt. Like you couldn't see the background, like it was all just black. Like there was no texture, there was no flooring, nothing. And so like we had to evacuate super fast, and we abandoned so much stuff. We abandoned basically an entire colony of resources there, like so much steel, so much food. Like we ended up somehow packing like I had like hundreds of thousands of chocolate for some fucking reason. So I ended up just packing up like a shit ton of chocolate to take because it's the only thing they wouldn't keep unpacking that they could eat. So yeah, they fucking hate chocolate, but we're still growing it. We're working on replacing that. They eat it as fast as it gets cut though. Either that or my fucking thrombos are getting at it. I'm not sure. But the only problem I've got with this location is because I've got all the animals and stuff outside. Like, hold on. Like, if I zoom out a bit, all of my animals have got like set areas where they can go, whereas on like previous areas I had like they were pretty much allowed to go wherever the fuck they want and stuff. We also had rats at one point too, but I had to I had to get rid of them because they were eating meat. They were supposed to be our meat source, but they were eating meat, so we had to get rid of it. And it was kind of hard to support the cats and panthers system that I've got here with that. But yeah, generally speaking, like, I don't have the right nutrition for the animals in the pens. Like, that's not right. And when it comes down to food, we've got a lot of food. Some people are picky. I don't have and have not had for a while certain types of foods for them, but we're working on it. Once we get up to like about 1,000, what do you call it, like fine carnivore meals, 1,000 odd vegetarian meals and stuff like that, then they can just make whatever. I don't really care, as long as they support about 1,000 of that, so people got choice. And I'm kind of trying to make the medicine back up because we just used up all of our industrial medicine. I had to buy more, but we also like cut through like a shit ton of herbal medicine with the flu, because everybody needed like 3 or 4 medicines each. So yeah, that took up a fair bit. And we're dwindling down on the steel again, but we have components. We have component production underway now, which is great. So yeah, once I get like a shit ton of components, I'm going to both start making weapons and armor, and also bionics to replace like all the people in the colony that have got like broken shit on them or whatever. Like, I'll fix that up and stuff. But yeah, we're just starting to make weapons and stuff, which is nice, because like the last couple of locations, we didn't have that. The last couple of, well, Quillen, the last location, we didn't get to have really any resources, to be fair, because we had to abandon that place like straight away. It was supposed to be, it was a permanent summer map, and we were going to get like a shit ton of food stored up there. We were just going to make food all the time outside and have a huge stockpile. Oh, man. I love that he's just automatically cut the ambrosia out of here. That's great. Another thing, too, is they're not allowed drugs of any kind. No recreational, no fighting and shit like that. So sometimes that's a bit difficult. But, yeah. No, we've had, like, huge setbacks and shit. And the fact that they've got stable food. Everybody has a bed. Everybody has a bed. You know, we're starting on like production and stuff. Like, I had to wait till everybody got better before I could actually start working on stuff again, like the components and the clothing replacement and the armor and the medicine replacement. And we're trying to make this place like really nice and luxurious so that everybody's happy and everybody has shit. Everybody gets repaired up before we move, because we really should have done that at the last location. And because we got kicked out of that by it being glitchy and had to abandon it, we just lost so much progress. And then this place just basically just like screwed us over as soon as we got here. So yeah, it's been pretty like hard slog, but eventually we'll move. Eventually we'll like move over here somewhere. We're not going to move too far away, but like realistically it's like that far away kind of thing. It's like basically like a week's worth of moving. It'll be about as far away distance wise as, oh, maybe a little bit further away. It'll be a lot further away than where the last move was, but I don't want to do a really big move like that again, because like the first place was here and then the second place was here. That was a huge move. Super, super huge. It took ages to move in there. And then the next move doesn't seem like it's as far in a direct line, but they had to go around here or some shit, or they had to go through this and then around. And then all these like rocky areas slowed them down and stuff. So it still took a long time. But then, yeah, we'll move probably somewhere in around here. I initially thought like in here, but it'll probably be like closer up here or something, give or take. And then we'll probably keep moving all the way up until we eventually get here. I think this is 30% coverage with high population from memory. So like I've got like two, I think I've got 1 or 2 of each type. I can't remember. I think it's just 1 of each type of ally, but it's like densely populated or whatever. Where am I? I'm down here. But yeah, I've had like the bigger maps and stuff like that, but this being 30, I wasn't planning on this being my goal when I first made this map, right? But I'm going to the landed ship quest. I'm taking an army of 250 people and I'm hoping to get the original 21 colonists off, or at least like get the majority of them off the planet as I can, right? But like we started down, I started all the way down in here somewhere. Hold on. There. So we started down here, right? And we're currently here. So we're over half of the world up. We've still got less than half of it to go to get over there. The nice thing was this wasn't in like ice sheet or some sort of fucking thing. So the ship map normal sized. I got no fucking clue. I've never been to one before. Some arsehole decided to come in and like spoil it for me, and it's like, oh, you can only take 18 people. I'm like, fuck off, mate. But yeah, I'm not expecting to take all 21 of my like original colonists, but I will, to the best of my ability, pack up like the whatever I have by that point in time, and I'll hopefully put them in a ship. And I don't know if I can do that at the beginning, if I can put them in a ship and kind of like safeguard them from the get-go or what. But I thought about doing something like that, and then the rest of them, like most of these people will just be to fight. My biggest problem is I haven't done the landed ship quest thing before ever, so like I don't know. Like I'm aware that there's waves and waves of enemies. I don't know what kind of enemies I'm going to be dealing with. I'm hoping by the time I'm there we have some decent armor and some decent weapons. And I don't know if I should take it in like a half cycle where like half of my people are inside and like maintaining a bit of a base, and like the other half are fighting, or if I'm going to need everybody. It will probably be one of the few areas where I will probably seek some level of like defensive kind of structure, because I don't do fences. Like we've got fences for the animals, but I don't do like kill box type stuff. We do have turrets being made, like once it like gets most of them. Like we haven't finished making them, but we're working on it. I'm going to put extra on the other side probably, or maybe just put extra on the side, but we've got a few turrets in the way at the moment and stuff. So like I'll probably deconstruct those and make new ones like last time. And I believe that the event doesn't start until I activate the ship. So I should have time to settle in, hopefully, and maybe like build some level of a structure. Because the other thing too is usually when I move, which I didn't really get with Quillen to this place, but usually I have 2 locations, and that way I've got like part of my group at one location, part of it at the other, building while the other's like deconstructing stuff and bringing it over and whatever. And I normally just have like a constant stream of like caravans going. But yeah, I hope to like move everything in there. I'm going to try 2 separate playthroughs of that, depending on how it goes. First one is I'm going to just aim for getting up to the flag and building and trying my best to like deal with that. In the event that that is an absolute wash, that's not possible to get anybody off that map location, I will try to build a ship on the next previous like map location before it, where we actually all have structure and stuff, where everything's already set and I can just build on it. So we'll try the 2 different things, and then after that, if I can get these people off the map, if being the main word there, if I can get them off the map and that's end game, then I will probably, where is the scanner one? Hold on. If I can get them off the map, I'll probably end up doing another playthrough where I try to make like a shit ton of people and just wipe out every single colony on the map. See how that goes. That, I know that like it doesn't stop raids and stuff, but like I'm a curious person and that sounds like fun. So yeah, I'll probably do that as like the next thing. I think I can get that from out here. This use template kind of like the Exostrider and Biotech having specific layout every time makes sense. But this many people could be hilarious if it's smaller than normal, like a lot of the incident maps. Since you can also make your own ship, I assume it would be normal size, but I've been wrong about assumptions of the game before. Collision has been a really unfortunate thing for me to learn about. So as far as I think would happen, and this is a speculation, and I don't want anybody to chime in with facts on this because it's just, I'll fucking find out. But I believe it should be a regular size map if I enter the area like enter to settle, it should be a normal size map. If I tried to enter the area just to like temporarily stop there, kind of like how you get attacked by a caravan and you can stop at a location, it's a tiny map. Like, I can still build on that. It's gonna be a hell of a heavy defense, like, condensed ultra fucking building. I will tell you that much. Like, I can do those builds. I just, like, with the colony of this size, it's gonna piss people off. Like, my colonists